Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving into something super interesting, the literal full body transformation that happens when you eat 4 eggs a day for an entire month straight. Seriously, it turns out this incredibly simple daily habit completely flips the script on one of the most common items probably sitting in your fridge right now. We're going to look really closely at the actual science, bust a few stubborn myths, and uncover the hidden biological mechanisms that get triggered when you make this a daily thing. So, we absolutely have to start with this crazy personal anecdote that just throws dietary dogma right out the window. The author of our source material actually tried this. They literally ate 4 eggs a day, every day, for a whole month. And you know what happened? The results of their blood work were so astoundingly positive that their doctor literally couldn't believe it. Like, she actually asked them twice if they were lying. It's such a great hook, right? Because it perfectly sets the stage for us to unlearn some seriously outdated dietary rules. But hey, let's just address the elephant in the room right away. I know exactly what's popping into your head right now. Wait, won't eating that many eggs absolutely wreck my cholesterol? It is, hands down, the single biggest fear people have about eating the yolks. For decades, we've basically been brainwashed to order those sad, rubbery egg white omelets and run away from the yellow center. So let's look at the actual data and squash this myth right out of the gate. It is wild to think that this massive, widespread fear is basically rooted in a 1960s study that was quietly debunked years ago. The reality, your body is incredibly smart. You see, your liver is actually what makes the vast majority of your cholesterol, not your food. So when you start eating eggs consistently, your liver just goes, oh, okay, we've got this covered, and simply produces less to balance it out. And instead of harming you, your HDL, the good cholesterol, actually goes up. And what about those LDL particles? They actually become larger and far less dangerous. Even your triglycerides tend to improve. The truth is, eggs do not create the small, dense LDL particles linked to heart disease. They actually promote a much healthier overall cholesterol profile. Now, this is the part that completely blew my mind. Eggs deliver an unmatched 100% biological value. Just think about the most common protein sources we eat, right? Chicken, beef, fish. That's muscle tissue. It's built for movement, which makes it super dense, tightly packed, and honestly, a lot harder for your body to break down and actually use. Beef gives you roughly 75 to 80% usable protein. Fish is slightly better, around 80 to 85%, and chicken sits at about 79. But eggs, a perfect 100%. Why is that? Well, because an egg wasn't built for movement. It was literally designed to grow an entire living being from a single cell. That means absolutely nothing is wasted. And for you, that translates to faster muscle repair, stronger bones, and a sharper immune system. And you know what? That perfect biological value translates directly into your daily energy levels too. The yolk actually makes eggs an unbelievable hidden fuel source. While lean meats give your body a sort of slow, inefficient fuel, meaning they only give up about 10 to 20% of their protein as usable energy, a whopping 65% of an egg can be used directly as energy by your body. That is huge. It gives you way steadier energy, way fewer crashes, and perfectly stable blood sugar. It is the exact reason why swapping out a carb-heavy breakfast like toast or cereal for eggs keeps you feeling totally full and focused for 4 to 6 hours. You basically get to skip that dreaded mid-morning crash entirely. But man, the brilliance of the egg doesn't stop at just energy. Think about it. Before a chick even develops, the egg has to defend itself from the outside world. So the egg white literally acts as nature's ultimate antibacterial shield. It actively breaks down the cell walls of bacteria, blocks them from stealing vital nutrients, and even locks away iron so pathogens literally can't use it to grow. Oh, and let's do a quick myth check while we're on the subject. You've probably heard that raw egg whites cause a biotin deficiency, right? Well, that's only a risk if you're chugging like 10 or more raw whites every single day. Once you cook your eggs, that problematic compound is completely destroyed, dropping the risk to absolute zero. Now, another amazing thing, eggs are absolutely loaded with leucine. You can think of leucine, which is an essential amino acid, as a literal muscle light switch inside your body. It directly flips the switch for muscle protein synthesis. So if you strength train, or if you just make it a point to walk every day, or especially if you're over 40 when muscle mass naturally starts to slip away, leucine is your absolute ultimate edge. It gives you so much better recovery, helps you retain your strength, and really locks in your long-term mobility. All right, let's explore a secret benefit that almost nobody talks about. It's a biological process called methylation. Think of methylation as your body's dedicated 24/7 maintenance crew. It's responsible for repairing your DNA, detoxing your hormones, and producing vital brain chemicals.
But here's the kicker, and it's a massive problem. Up to 40% of adults have a genetic weakness that slows this whole methylation process down. And the crazy part? Most of them have no idea. When this maintenance crew is slacking, you end up with constant brain fog, just super low energy, poor focus, and really sluggish detoxing.
And this is exactly where eggs come to the rescue. They supply the precise, high-quality raw materials your body needs to fix that sluggish detox and get your maintenance crew running at full speed again. Eggs happen to be one of the absolute richest natural sources of choline, vitamin B12, and folate. By giving you these specific nutrients in their most highly usable form, eating eggs essentially hands your brain's maintenance crew the premium fuel it needs to wipe out the brain fog and totally optimize your daily energy levels. Building on that brain boost, the yolks are actually out there protecting your sensory organs too. First off, they are packed with antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin, which actually build up directly in your retina. They essentially act as natural sunglasses for your eyes, filtering out UV light and all that harsh blue light from staring at screens all day, helping prevent age-related damage. At the exact same time, your brain is made up of these incredibly fragile membranes that desperately need phospholipids to stay sharp. And guess what? Egg yolks are absolutely packed with them. Honestly, it's no wonder eggs are the go-to brain food for students pulling all-nighters and seniors wanting to protect their memory. Okay, we also need to talk about this hidden trio of vitamins in eggs that almost nobody mentions, even though they're doing massive heavy lifting behind the scenes. First, you've got vitamin K2. This guy acts like a traffic cop, directing calcium straight into your bones and keeping it the heck away from your arteries where it could cause dangerous blockages. Then you have retinol, which is the true, highly bioavailable form of vitamin A, super essential for glowing skin and a rock-solid immune system. And finally, vitamin D, which is absolutely crucial for your bone health, hormone regulation, and just keeping your mood nice and stable. So, with all these incredible benefits on the table, you're probably wondering, okay, exactly which eggs should I be buying at the grocery store? Because it gets super confusing, right? Basically, try to avoid caged eggs if you can. Cage-free is a little bit better, but let's be real, those birds are often still packed in tight. Pasture-raised is widely considered your absolute best standard option. Now, organic means they get really good feed, but remember, that doesn't automatically mean they aren't kept in cages. If you can swing it, pasture-raised plus organic, that is the perfect, ideal combo. But honestly, here is the most important takeaway from all of this. Even if your budget only allows for standard, regular eggs, just eat them. They are still vastly healthier and better for you than pretty much any cereal, granola bar, or breakfast pastry on the shelf. Now, if you want to get the absolute maximum benefit out of every single bite, you should try pairing your eggs with some specific foods. The healthy fats in eggs basically act as this brilliant delivery system. If you pair them with arugula, the egg fat actually boosts your antioxidant absorption up to 9 times. Throw in some onions, and the sulfur compounds go straight to work supporting your liver detox. Add a dash of black pepper, and it uses piperine to boost carotenoid absorption. Tomatoes bring in lycopene for your heart and eyes, which, by the way, is even more powerful when you cook it. Adding avocado brings extra healthy fats and fiber for even longer-lasting energy. And finally, cooking your eggs in olive oil or butter gives you the best fats to protect all those amazing nutrients from heat loss. Suddenly, making breakfast feels a lot less like a chore and more like a strategic science experiment for your health. Which brings us to a really fascinating final thought. We've just seen that if eggs fit your budget and your body handles them well, eating up to 4 a day is literally one of the simplest, most powerful ways to fuel your muscles, protect your brain, and stabilize your hormones. But here's the thing. Eggs are really only half the story when it comes to building a truly optimal dietary foundation. What actually happens to your bones, your hormones, and your baseline metabolism when you combine those daily eggs with daily milk? Well, it turns out it takes that metabolic effect even further, which leaves us with the absolute perfect mystery to dive into in our next explainer. Until then, considering everything we've just uncovered today, how are you going to rethink your very next meal?